Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Bantikow, where today we're finally getting around to doing the baling. We're going to start off with the grass and then move down to the hayfield. We're using the Coon round baler, which Giants had fixed in patch 1.2. I didn't actually spot it in the patch notes when they came out, but as you can see, it is putting out grass, which is beautiful. I do use the bale to grass mod, and I also use the bale extension, so I don't know if this is default behavior or if the mods I'm using have fixed it. I can bale grass with pretty much any baler I have, which is nice. I don't use it with the square baler because, well, there is a way of wrapping grass bales, grass square bales now, but there wasn't when bale extension came out. I'm not 100% sure if bale extension is capable of handling it now. I don't know if I said this in a previous video, but I have had a look at. I know the sound's a bit lower than usual because I've got it down to 10% now, just to save myself face because these fents are ridiculously loud. I did test out Auto Tractor, and the problem with Auto Tractor is the Auto Tractor script itself. There's the boundary detection is bad, to say the least. Hopefully, when the modding documentation comes out, when the scripting docs come out, it'll be fixed and it'll be fixable, because Auto Tractor is a very, very useful mod, especially seeing as I'm not using Courseplay as much as I usually do. I will, by the way, eventually get Courseplay running on this map. Seeing as I have got rid of the Tramlines mod, that just doesn't work. It conflicts with itself, which is a problem. It doesn't conflict with just the way it's designed is inherently flawed. It should not be conflicting with sewing machines, but it is. There are a couple of sewing machines I have. One of them I can understand conflicting. There is a sewing machine that I have that I'll be using on this map straight away, that I can completely understand that conflicting, because there's big wheels on the back coming out from the back, and they're Trelleborg tires, so I can understand it conflicting there. That's not the issue. The issue is it does conflict with the smaller sewing machines like the Vaderstadt 600A, and that's a sewing machine that most people will use. That's a seeder that most people will use because it's, I would argue, the smallest reasonable use cultivator in the game. The Vitasem is nice. I do like the Vitasem. It's just the size and the capacity. It's a great seeder to start off with, but once you can afford the Vaderstadt, I see no reason why you shouldn't be using the Vaderstadt, unless you want to do a farm that's exclusively maize or exclusively sugar beets, in which case we can kind of, well, unless you want to include maize and sugar beets, in which case I can understand you at least keeping the Vitasem, because that's the smallest sower that can handle maize and sugar beets. I have no issue there. The sewing machine I'm going to be using is huge, absolutely massive. It's, I would argue, made more for American maps, but this is Eastern European. Eastern Europeans, I've noticed from the mods that I've been seeing that are kind of Soviet era tractors and equipment, they really like really big tractors and really small tractors. It's kind of comical. Just the Soviet equipment is either huge, just big, massive things like the Corvettes, or really, really tiny. Like most of the Soviet equipment I've seen, I'm saying Soviet, Eastern European, Soviet era, kind of 70s, 80s, even into the 90s. A lot of it is like 3-meter cultivators, 3-meter seeders, really, really basic looking equipment, which, I mean, the Soviet era, they weren't exactly renowned for their wealth under communism. Even in the most of the 90s, Russia wasn't exactly known for being a wealthy country. A lot of former communist states are still, in that part of the world, still known for not exactly having the most money. So, yeah. As you can see, anyway, talking about the game, because I was talking about mods, not making a political statement, for once. As you can see, I've gone over all the fields of the game, did do this manually, so it does prove that if I actually pay attention and take my time, more pay attention than anything else, because I was almost completely silent doing this, just watching a YouTube video. If I actually pay attention, I can get things done nice and neat, and concentrate, and things will end up nice. But when I'm recording, I almost intentionally I don't pay as much attention. I mean, talking over the video, talking while I'm playing, not the easiest thing in the world. You try coming up with things to say for half an hour at a time, thinking about, oh, my throat's a bit sore, what can I say this, can I not say this, should I say this, should I not say this. You try doing that for half an hour at a time. You'll very quickly find yourself making silly mistakes. That's kind of why I call myself an idiot. Really, it's just part of the game, is, especially on YouTube, is to make mistakes, because that's where the entertainment comes in. Like, I love watching NerdCubed, and I absolutely adore the mistakes he makes, because number one, his reactions are brilliant. If you ever saw, this is an older video of his, but it's one of my absolute favorite moments on YouTube, is he did a video on Aerofly FS, Aerofly full size or flight simulator, whatever you want the FS to stand for. I think it's supposed to stand for full size, because Aerofly is actually a radio controlled flying simulator, which is odd to say the least. But he was messing around with the glider that comes with it by default, and he realized the wings, the modeling they used was amazing, and the wings bent back when he put a lot of pressure on it, and if he did it just right, he could get the wings to flap. So there's a moment in the video where he just dives down in the glider, and fully expecting the wings to just start flapping like mad, and not expecting there to be any damage modeling, I think, and the wings come off. And all you hear is this kind of very feminine shriek, gasp, inhale of air that is, in my opinion, it's just NerdCube in a nutshell. It's just this weird sound that he makes as he inhales all of the air ever in a femtosecond. And it's just one of the most beautiful moments on YouTube that I've ever seen. I do still go back. The video's about 2 years old now. I still go back today, and I'll probably actually watch that video later on today when I'm rendering. Unless I'm talking to somebody on Skype or something, and just the reaction he has is beautiful. And flap. Yes! That is how to YouTube, and I'm kind of sad that I can't do it that well. I'm not as funny as he is. I'll never be as funny as he is. But I try. I fail, but I try. I don't think you guys come to me for humor. You guys come to me to see what stupid thing I'll say today. Because I tend to say stupid things. Actually, really often I say stupid things. Talk about stuff that I probably shouldn't talk about. I mean, I look at a lot of, oh, how do you make Let's Plays? Well, you talk about the game. I don't. I talk about whatever I want to talk about. I mean, Farm Sim is a great game for vlogging. Because, let's face it, there's not a whole lot to talk about. If I was playing Gran Turismo, yeah, I'd be talking about the cars and what I think of the cars and what I think of the track and how the car is doing on the track. This, I'm just driving around in a field, picking up as much grass as I can. I'm coming over here for a reason. Before anybody thinks, oh, he's just gone mad now. He's just driving off in a random direction. Which I was. Came over here so I can pick up this grass over here. It makes more sense to me to start down here again. I think I did it different. Yeah, I did it differently when I was mowing, but I'm going to come down here for the baling. And, this is genuinely how I bale. I just kind of go and do my own thing. But I do like using round bales, especially with the the bale extension mod. Downside is I'm going to have all of the silage in the world ever, and I will have absolutely no idea what to do with it. Gotta bring probably 2 or 3 loads over to the cow area. As you know, I don't have any cows yet. But what I'm going to do is going to bring a few loads over there because there is a mixing station over there. Going to bring a few loads of the hay bales over as well. In fact, I'm going to bring all the hay bales over because, well, the pigs don't take hay. I'll just bring it up here. That and that. Pigs, there's no room for hay there, so TMR is where I'm going with that. Silage is going to go straight into the pigs as well. You don't have a way of giving them silage. Somebody didn't think this through, did they? No. I'll get a mixing wagon of some description. I may end up selling some hay bales just to get some money. No, no, that's against the rules I've invented, because I've just invented that rule. I'll rent a mixing wagon or something. There's 1,000 pigs, I'd probably be able to fill a mixing wagon. And if not, I'll feed the pigs first, and if there's still hay left over, I'll throw it into the mixing station with the mixing wagon, because that makes sense. Times like this, I'm glad that the Tram Lines mod just didn't work, because half the time I'm going to be on the fields that have crops in them, just because of the way I've done this. I'm going to get a couple of 100 bales off this field, good lord. Well, I'm never running out of silage. But what I'm going to do is, I love how neat the lines are. Just look at, well, never mind. I was going to comment on how straight I'm driving, and I look back and there's this big wobble. Let's put that down that. Yeah, I'm not going to run out of silage anytime soon. Probably should have bought the baler. No, don't have the money because it's going to take a couple of days for the canola to come up to full maturation, so I don't have the money to buy the time that I need, and there's a bale after going into the canola field. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised more bales haven't decided to just run away. Oh, that's gonna... Oh my god, that's gonna be a fun one to find. It's green and the canola's green. 39... 4,000. I'll run around here and pick up some loose grass. Normally I pick up absolutely everything, but this map is so ridiculously big. And I'm gonna get so many bales, such a ridiculous amount of bales, that really, there's no reason to be overly OCD. I did realise off screen between the two episodes, well, in between the last episode and this one, this tractor just drinks fuel. I mean, I've barely had it, and I actually had to refill it because I knew the fuel I had in it wouldn't last for the baling. And I figured it was better to fill the tractor up and then get the baler, and to grab the baler, go back to the main farm to fill the tractor, and then, you know, bring the baler with. So I may end up having to get... I may end up ridding myself of this tractor a bit faster than I would have liked. But I can't do that until I can afford a different tractor. That's an issue I didn't consider at first. That is a genuine issue now. Didn't consider it ever because, well, to be quite honest, I didn't expect the tractor to be such a fuel guzzler. It's going to be an issue, and I know it's going to be an issue, and I don't have any way of sorting the issue. So I'll just have to deal with it as best I can for the time being. I'll probably switch back to using the Ursus and the T6 for a lot of the rest of the work. Normally, this is going to be an unusual one. Unusual for me. Normally what I do is I record 2 days in a row to get ahead of myself. And normally what I do is I record Bantikow today, and edit and render and all that stuff, and record Oldridge tomorrow. But I still have a couple of days to play with, in terms of before all these videos have to go live. So what I'm going to do is, instead of rendering out and editing these videos now, after I finish this one, which is normally what I do, I'm actually going to take a probably 10-15 minute break after recording this, swap into Oldridge and get working there and record a few episodes there, and then I'll edit and render tonight and start uploading possibly overnight, because I can just leave my computer on and suffer like that. So that's a thing I can do. Apologies for the relatively boring series of episodes where tedding and windrowing in the second one. The previous episode was good, wasn't it? I did 2 different things, and now I'm just baling, which I know isn't the most exciting viewing in the world, but it is a thing that needs to be done on the map. And it's going to take so long that I need to have an episode where I just bail. I might have a second one next time I record, depending on how quickly I can get the off-screen bailing done. But the way I'm recording now, at 3 episodes at a time, I essentially go a week ahead every time I decide to record, which is kind of nice. And just because something has literally just cropped up, I'm going to end this episode a bit earlier than I normally would. I know we're almost to 20 minutes, and by the time I get this out, we will have gone over 20 minutes, because we are actually already over 20 minutes, actually. But I need to run off, which is why I need why I'm having the break between now and recording Aldridge later on today, for once. So I'm going to end it here. I've been Rainbow Dave. You've been watching Farming Simulator 15 going hardcore in Bantikow. Please comment, like and subscribe because it's amazing and I love you guys for it. Especially if you say you love the videos, that they just... Oh my god, you have no idea how happy positive comments make me. I just see these comments and I smile. I might not reply to them, but I do read them. So, in the next episode we'll be doing literally something, possibly wrapping the bales, possibly more baling. Until then, stay safe, and goodbye!